Okay, so I'm going to explain my um, iteration of the 6E in the way that I would put it or I've used before. So I'm going to share my screen. Maybe. Okay. So I kept it in the same format as what the 6E is. I just changed to what I um to explain better for myself. So, and just thinking back though, when I first started and I thought about everyone was talking about these 6 E's and I was so overwhelmed to begin with, but I was like 6 E's, like I couldn't even come up with 6E words relating to a lesson plan. And um just over the years how they've changed, so how I've learned to change them. But I think there are some really important concepts that need to be in each one. And after a few weeks of doing a 6E, like I really think that they're really good lesson plans. Um, and they have a lot of what I think is important in a lesson plan. So, just an explanation of what I changed. Um, so the lesson title, and then I had the subject and the grade. And I know that ours is student facing, and we share these 6 E's with our students when we present them weekly. And so this is more of a teacher one. I do love the student facing one, and it keeps it simple. Um, Maybe I just like to make things harder on myself. So I also included like a purpose or an aim of the lesson. So as the instructor, what do I want my learners to take away from this lesson? Um, and then I kept the learning target objective. I like that they get to hear, I can. This is what I can do when this is over. So I started with an anticipatory set, and this would be like our engage. And I definitely think you need to grab the learner's attention no matter what grade. The little ones for sure, the older ones because they think they know everything. To activate and assess prior knowledge, maybe a class discussion, some questions to have them think about. And then I like to tell the learners, what are we doing today? What should you accomplish by the end of this lesson? And why are they learning this? I'm not just teaching this because I want to, there is a reason. So this sort of follows the I do, we do, you do. So I think it's very important to model to your students. And I know we've talked about that lately in our principal meeting with purposefulness, and the word just left my brain. So let me see if that comes back to me. Modeling for a lot of our students. So the direct instruction is the I do. I'm showing them what we're going to do. I am and actually instructing them. So I feel like the direct instruction in the student practice is more of the explore and explain. And I know that in our explore we do read, watch, and do. And I like that. I don't always know that I like it for the differentiation part, but sometimes I'm finding different materials. So I want them to focus on one thing, not the 3 things I'm giving them. So maybe that's me getting better at that part. But I do like that they can read, watch, and do something. That's like a very good differentiation. So I included that in mine. So then the student practice is where they can practice the concept. Now, that doesn't mean I'm totally hands off. I think I'm still, I need to be still in there. Like, I've directed them, I've instructed them. Now we are going to practice together. And here again is where the read, watch, and do comes in, because they need differentiations. So a lot of students are visual, so they need a slide presentation, handouts, and depending on what the lesson is, that could already be included up above in the direct instruction. And then our auditory learners, they need to listen to the story, hear a class discussion, maybe hear it from a peer. Um, and then a learner mastery. So this would need to be chosen by the teacher before the lesson. How are they going to explain how they've mastered this specific concept? And in that way, then they have the freedom or the choice to decide how they want to show their mastery or demonstrate it. So maybe they want to just hold a quick discussion with me. And if they're touching on all the concepts or the goal that I've created, then they've earned that. If they want to write me something, maybe I'll still have a quick quiz, or, we do those ed puzzles. Like, so this is sort of our evaluate and elaborate together. And then the reflection, I really think, needs to be in there as well. And I like to do a learner reflection and an instructor reflection. So the learner reflection, I kept that same link that we pick our questions, but maybe just letting them think, like, what did I do well? What did I do in this lesson? Do they know? And then for the instructor, myself, what worked during this lesson, what did not work, and what might need to be revisited. Some of these are maybe hard to visualize in a virtual, but I think they do follow with what we do in the 6Es. And I just sort of called them something different and included some other ideas. And that's all. Thank you.